Yo, what's up? It's your boy P Lot, aka the Brick Slinger, and guess what? Your boy got something to say. Not too long ago, I saw one of Kevin Samuel's latest episode, and entitled "You Want Men Back in the Church," and I only got a glimpse of the conversation, not the whole thing. So bear with me there when it come to this video. One thing for sure, it definitely inspired me to want to know why are men, especially the black men and the men in the black community, why are we leaving the church? Not the faith, the church. And I can think of a lot of reasons why we as black men are leaving the church. Some may have to deal with the prosperity gospel. Some may have to deal with some feminist propaganda. Some may even dig deeper and deal with what pastor or deacon are doing to ruin families. Who knows? However, I do notice that this has continued to be the conversation here in 2021 and may continue in 2022. Because at this point, it's like the role of a man has been ignored. It has been obsolete. There has continued to be an expectation for men to be men, or certain men. It has been an expectation for our sons and nephews and little brothers to grow up to become a certain type of man. However, if you ever check any of my future of manhood videos, you'll notice that in this time right now, we're seeing what manhood is becoming to be, masculinity is becoming to be, and for some reason that has been the total opposite of what true masculinity is, what true manhood is. And then it makes me wonder, what is the church doing when it comes to displaying what true manhood is, true masculinity is from a Christian's perspective? I remember being in the faith, and one thing that was known to be missing was the impact of the men in the church. Though there were many men in the church, and to this day, I still look up to my father, and then I look up to my pastors, as well as one of the pastors I used to be under him in his church, Pastor Apostle Lamar Tart, and from Living Word Fellowship Center in East St. Louis, Illinois. One thing I noticed when I was in that church, it was the so many things, but one thing that kept my attention was the fact that there were men in the church. There was men in the ministry. There was men in the deacons. There was so many display of manhood and masculinity. And I looked up to that, and I still admire that to this day. However, being in the faith, I remember hearing about, especially in songs dealing with Lecrae and Sho Baraka, mainly Sho Baraka, of what a man is in the eyes of the Lord. Certain scriptures that would display how men should display themselves. And if anything, got someone like myself, will read a chapter of Proverbs a day to to get the wisdom and the knowledge and the understanding left and right. Every verse has given us details of how to do this and how to do that. And many people will try to say, well, the Bible is trying to teach you how to be poor and want you to be poor and this, that, and the third. This, that, and the third. And then you got other folks like the Bible won't teach you how to be rich and this, that, and the third. Well, anything is the total opposite or a misconception of both. Because the Bible never talks about you need to be poor, or the Bible says you need to be rich. If anything, when it comes to poor, it said, especially in Proverbs, it's better to be poor and honest than dishonest and a fool. It never tells us, the Bible never told us that it's never okay to be rich. One thing it does do is warn rich folks, especially if they Christians, that do not let greed be your downfall. You can be rich, but don't let greed be your downfall. Don't be prideful. You know, pride comes before the fall. Don't do it's the total opposite of that. But in the midst of growing up and still listening to songs that like man up, and how men bow down to authority, and authority is above him. Because even in 1 Corinthians, it's give us a particular order: God the Father, Christ, man, and woman. Man and woman. If a man that's man's head. The head over a man is Christ, and the head over the woman is the man. And if a man cover his head, it's a problem. If a woman, no, if anything, and forgive me if I'm misquoting it. Please forgive me, help me to the particular scripture I'm talking about. If a man cover his head, it's a problem. If a woman uncover her head, it's a problem. And I'm basically paraphrasing. So if you know the scripture that I'm talking about, please put it on the comment board. But I still wonder why there are less men in the church. Even when went to Macedonia, there was men in the church. Men in the church, fathers, husbands in the church. But I'm still wondering why we still having this conversation. Even in New Perfect Peace that I'm going to, that I've been attending to for a while, there's men in the church. But why are there men leaving the church? Not the faith. That may be another conversation, but leaving the church, that's what I'm into, wondering. Because like I said, there could be a lot of reasons why men are leaving the church. It's because the message is not there. That the message is no longer as important to men anymore. Maybe there are too many women, too many pro-women, pro-estrogen, pro-feminist message in the church by the pastor. Maybe the things that they say about the church is becoming true, or maybe there are things that the church ain't really speaking on. And we got young men getting ready to handle the torch, handle the baton. Yet they got to deal with the world. They got to deal with their classmate saying a lot of stuff about the church. And if anything, we as men of faith, we as Christian men, if we unable to display what a real man is, if we can't even do that, then it's obvious that our little brothers, our little nephews, our cousins, and all is going to find what being a man is if they can't get it from us and we get it from the Bible. Maybe it is because of the prosperity gospel. Maybe it is the poor gospel, meaning talking about being poor is better. Because I know folks are still probably saying that Jesus was poor, but no scripture says that. But if anything, and I want to extend this to all the men that listen, that's ever taken the time to check out a video of mine. How about we do more than just put it on a comment board? I would love to have a literal conversation with all the men that go to church, but yet they got the answer to this question: why are the men leaving the church? And I also want to have a conversation with those who did left the church and why they left. So if you want to take it further than the comment board, do me a favor. Go to the comment board and say, let's talk. I don't care if it's one person. I don't care if it's one dude. One dude from the church and one dude that's not from the church. I would love to have a conversation with you so that I can have a full understanding of why we as men, black men, are leaving the church, not the faith. Again, we could talk about that later. But in this video, I want to talk about men leaving the church. And I can understand why certain things are popping off to give men reasons to no longer go to church or no longer consider the church being this place for men. But at the end of the day, I'd rather us have a dialogue. I'd rather us have a conversation, a respectable conversation, even if it involves disagreeing, even if it involves questioning what's being said. I'm down for it. Are you? And if you are, please just comment. Let's talk. If you feel like there's more to be said, that the amount of character is not enough, let's have a conversation. Just say let's talk, and I will find a way and find a day and pick a day and a time for us to have this particular conversation so that it can be on display. And hopefully the Lord will take this opportunity to give pastors an opportunity to step up their men's ministry, to step up other ministry that involves men. Maybe the pastor will have a stronger ministry surrounding him so that he can have a stronger deacons in his midst. And if there's women that want to get involved, understand this is not an opportunity for you ladies. Maybe some other time. But I want to talk to the men that left the church and men that are still in the church. We should be able to have a conversation that can probably be still need to be answered of why men leaving the church, even in this time, even in this pandemic, why men leaving the church. And if that's so, like I say, let's talk. Put it on the comment board, the actual word. Let's talk. Let's have this conversation. And Lord willing, we will have this conversation on display, live on YouTube, live on Facebook, whatever the case may be. We will have to, and the Lord will give us the ability to continue this conversation on other platforms, so that people can see why we need to step it up in the church, why we need to step it up in the kingdom. Because quite frankly, the truth be told, men are leaving the church, which probably gonna leave a wide open shot to all the women in the church. Not just the women that wants a man in their life, but to see for them to see protection in the church, security in the church, provision in the church, vision in the church, mission in the church. It would be hard for them to acknowledge the fact that they need men in their life, not just for a relationship purpose, for the purpose of what a man should be doing in the church. But that's just me. That's just me. Like I said, if you want to continue the conversation, if you want that real conversation with myself, just type in "let's talk," and I'll take it from there. And I pray that the Lord will give me the ability to drop knowledge if needed, or be patient and listen. However, I challenge you, those who do not even go to church, I challenge you to come and type in "let's talk." Nothing more, nothing less. Now, if you feel like there's some things that need to be said, or why men leave the church, feel free. Other than that, let's have the conversation and let's do it live. It's your boy P Lot, aka the Brick Slinger, and as always, continue to sharpen one another. Support the kingdom. Take care, and God bless. Laborers.